Warning: any advice or opinion given in this video should not be taken seriously. We are not medical professionals, and we highly recommend you take the unfactual, ridiculous advice of the expert overlords on TV. Coming up on tonight's episode of Swamp News, we're going to be talking about the wonderful, delusional world of Brian Stelter. Nancy Pelosi claims that us Jesus freaks just can't understand the science of the pandemic. Bill Barr is leaving us with a nice parting gift, stating he will not be appointing a special counsel into a probe of Hunter Biden. And a COVID whistleblower, Rebecca Jones, sues Florida officials over a gunpoint raid at her home. Plus a lot more, and our tweets of the day. You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned.
$50? This is worth $5? This is the exact same piece of fucking plastic. And then we said, we can't print more or else it'll be worthless. How about just don't let it be worthless? Like, people, I get inflate, but I don't. Like, just don't let it, fuck. You let this happen. You let this happen. How about you just let everything else happen too? Why don't you just let stuff not inflate? Like, just deflate it.
Have it, friends, there is a glimpse into the economic future of this country if we don't start turning things around. Welcome back to the Swamp News Network. I am your host, Ian Ovens. It is December 22nd, 2020. I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful night out there. We are going to get into a lot of stuff tonight. We've got Brian Stelter stating that Trump supporters is the exact same as ISIS. Which I'm going to give you a little inside baseball on ISIS. ISIS was created by Barack Obama, so that we would have some boogeyman. The American people would have an enemy. Because when you have an enemy, that means that the American people are pouring their money into going and fighting something that's not really there. And that's a little bit of inside baseball of what I know about ISIS. I've done some research on it, and I just connect dots. You know, that's all I do. I connect dots, and it seems to me that our government, United States government, is heavily involved in ISIS, but they turn around and get in front of a stage and say to you that ISIS is our enemy, when they're ISIS. So, but let's take a look at Brian Stelter saying this.
We're also going to do a post-mortem of the Trump presidency. Many great guests coming up in the next few minutes. But first, the best word for what's happening in America right now is radicalization. That's what it is. That's what this hyped-up right-wing media machine is doing.
Sorry, Karen Stelter. Let me stop you right there. What's happening right now in America is Americans are starting to realize that their freedoms have been taken away from them for hundreds of years. And we're starting to realize that the government is not on our side, but we pay you our tax dollars. And you guys at this point are raping us with taxes. And then when we stand up and say we want things to be fair, and we want the election to be fair, we want everything to be fair, we want... which I know life's not fair, I understand that, but this government machine has been moving in the wrong direction for far too long. And how dare Brian Stelter come and say that we're wrong? The left's not wrong for what they just did? Black Lives Matter and Antifa, and you guys supported that? Where were you then, Brian Stelter? Where were you then? But we're always wrong, aren't we? The people who love freedom, who love America, who love the Constitution, we're always wrong. And we need to shut up, sit down, and take what we're given.
Harder to speak a common language about right and wrong. Harder to meet in the proverbial middle. Because some news junkies, some relatives, some neighbors are being radicalized. When Trump lifers are calling for troops in the streets because they lost an election, that's radicalization. When they start speculating about breaking off and creating their own country, that is radicalization. All of this election denialism talk is radical.
Because at this point, do you think it's possible that the left is scared to live without us? They know they can't survive without the freedom lovers, because we're fighting for their freedom as well. If they don't want to fight for their own freedom, that's fine. But for him to say that us saying that we want to break off into our own union is radical, he's not paying attention. He's not seeing what we're seeing. He's a puppet up there being told to say what he's supposed to say on the air, and that's it. He doesn't believe what he's saying. He just has to read it to make his money. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Americans are done. We're done allowing the governmental machine to run in the wrong direction, away from what we want when we are the ones paying for it. We're done. And Brian Stelter needs to be taken off the air. He needs to be exiled, and that's what I think. Let's continue listening.
Everywhere in the pro-Trump media. When a former Houston police captain points a gun at an ordinary air conditioner repairman because he believes the repairman is the mastermind behind a voter fraud scandal, that is evidence of radicalization having real-life consequences. These conspiracy theories spreading all around, millions of Americans clinging to...
There's that conspiracy nut word. There's that CIA word. Because, you know, every time somebody says, anytime any news anchor or anybody like myself, YouTube media, says it's a conspiracy theory, that means to you, the listener, don't believe it. Because I said so. Because I'm deeming it a conspiracy theory. There must be no facts and no truth to it. Fuck you, Brian Stelter. Conspiracy theory. Freedom is not a conspiracy theory, my friend.
Radicalization. And that's not easy to say. It's not an easy word to use. But it's way past time to talk about this honestly. No one should tiptoe past this predicament. Disinformation networks like QAnon are causing people to lose touch with reality. This professor told CNN that QAnon believers can get radicalized very quickly, sometimes in a matter of weeks. There's that word, radicalized. In other cases, this process is much more gradual. I mean, this right-wing rabbit hole problem. But it's all over the place. I mean, numerous sources...
So I just want to make sure you guys understand that CNN has also been infiltrated by China. They live in an alternate reality. He wants to tell you that you're living in an alternate reality. And I'm not going to sit right here and say that QAnon does not have some crazy, crazy stuff going on. But what is wrong with digging to the truth? You guys know, and I know, that when something happens, there's the truth of what happened, and then there's a bunch of shit piled on top that's not true. That's to cover up the truth. So when we're going down a rabbit hole, which he just said there, which is another CIA word, when we go down that rabbit hole and we look for the truth and we search for the truth, how dare somebody come out and say that we're not allowed to do that? Or we don't have the freedom to do that if we choose to? Again, fuck you, Brian Stelter. Let's move on, guys. So our second story of the day is that Nancy Pelosi, Miss Nancy, the evil woman sending us $600 checks when she has a $25,000 fridge in her kitchen, fully stocked. Which, guys, you know what? I've seen many different takes on this $600. A lot of people are like, don't even send it to me. A lot of people are like, I'm grateful for it. Guys, we got to be grateful for anything that can help at this point. But what I'm sick of is people claiming that libertarians, independents like myself, where I just like politics. I like to get to the truth of politics. Politics, there is a machine. And there is a way that government is supposed to operate. But at this point, we've gotten so far away from the way that things are supposed to be that's what I'm searching for. I want to get down to the bottom root of what government's supposed to look like and get it back to that point. At this point, we are so far away from it, it's not even funny. And these people are up there playing gender politics, race politics, throwing money around wherever. The fucking printing machines are going crazy. But now we've gotten into a different a different realm when they start taking away our freedom to make money for our families, taking away our freedom to freely travel out in the world. When you start doing that, then hell yes, send me some money if you're going to do that. That's where people are getting, because everybody's like, well, the right, you guys are always, oh, you don't want socialism and you don't want free money, but then you're complaining about the $600. Well, see, we're not just sitting around, not working, not doing anything, asking for a handout. That's what the socialists do, and that's what a lot of you Democrats out there do. We're getting our businesses shut down by the government and then saying, hey, you're not going to send us anything? So that's a totally different story. But Nancy Pelosi claims that faith-oriented lawmakers say they don't believe in science. This is an article from the Daily Caller. And here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to let Nancy say it herself from the mouth of the horse. All right, guys, so I tried to find a video, but of course all the videos of her saying it have been scrubbed from the internet. But here she said, people say around here sometimes, I'm faith-oriented, so I don't believe in science, the California Democrat claimed. And I say, well, you can do both. Science is an answer to our prayers, Pelosi said. And our prayers have been answered with a vaccine. She spun this tale while telling other whoppers about why Democrats had no choice but to hold up a second coronavirus aid package that was expected to pass later Monday. Pelosi said they wouldn't accept a follow-up to the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act passed in March because they had to start by first crushing this deadly, oh so deadly virus. The speaker went on to blame President Donald Trump and those dirty Republicans for the Democrats' own lollygagging and obstructing. There you have it, guys. That's all these people care about, is playing the blame game so that they can continue to look good for their constituents, which a lot of times is us, but a lot of times it's rich, wealthy men who pour money into, their campaign funds. So I just can't believe, though, that she would say this on air. First of all, I believe in God. And so if you believe in God, you don't believe in science because you believe God is in control of everything. So if you believe in God, you don't believe in science. It's either one or the other. There isn't both. You could make the claim that God created science. I don't want to say I don't believe in science. I do believe in like physics and chemistry and stuff like that, but I don't believe in evolution of humans and all this crazy Scientology, Church of Scientology shit. I don't believe in all that. But what I want to make a point of is that the science of this COVID thing does not back up what they're telling us and what they're doing. So you can't make that claim, Nancy. Anyway, guys, we got to move on. Bill Barr says he will not appoint a special counsel in the probe of Hunter Biden. Check this out.
Off topic. Do you believe there should be a special counsel appointed to investigate the allegations against Hunter Biden?
On your first question, we think that the prospects are very good. Masoud is in the custody of the current government of Libya, and we have no reason to think that that government is interested in associating itself with this heinous act of terrorism. And so we are optimistic that they will turn him over to face justice. On the second question, I think to the extent that there's an investigation, I think that it's being handled responsibly and professionally currently within the department and to the...
Handled by who, Bill? You're the head of the department, dude, at least for like one more day. It's being handled by who? Like, I feel confident in the handling of this investigation within the department, but we're not going to investigate. So who the fuck is that? But what we're going to worry about is a terrorist attack, which history would show us that our own government planned these attacks for some other reason. But in the history of, we'll just say, a terror attack, that's what we're investigating from 1988. We're not worried. This is a distraction, guys. The Biden family is full of corruption and crime. But we are not going to look at that. We're going to investigate nooses, which are fucking ropes that are hanging in NASCAR garages. We're going to investigate Joe Biden's bus being followed by Trump supporters. We're going to investigate 1988 Pan Am bombings. Hunter Biden, we're not going to touch you. We're not going to investigate the Bidens at all because the fucking government's corrupt. Anyway, guys, we're running out of time, but I wanted to let you guys know that a COVID whistleblower, COVID whistleblower, which means she's not agreeing with what's going on here. She's coming out and saying something about it. Rebecca Jones sues Florida officials over gunpoint raid at her home. The complaint accuses the Florida Department of Law Enforcement of violating her constitutional rights by sending armed officers to her house, seizing her belongings, and what she decried as a dangerous attempt to intimidate scientists. The basis of the warrant was a sham to punish plaintiff for her protected speech. Her lawyers wrote in a lawsuit obtained by the South Florida Sun Sentinel. One of the defendants named in the suit is FDLE Commissioner Rick Swearingen, who has defended the officer's actions on December 7th. His agency was serving a search warrant that day in connection with a probe into the hacked Florida's internal notification system. What? Dude, that's some BS claim. You just don't want her out there speaking about the COVID being a lie. Alright, guys. That's all I got for you today. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. I'm rushing right now because it's 7:45. I got to have this uploaded by 8. But let's check out our tweets of the day. Make sure you head over to Discord. Make sure that you check out the American Pride Reinforcement Party. Make sure that you head over to our main channel because we'll be back over there in like 6 days. We'll be making some videos over there too. Make sure that you also go over to BitChute because if they do shut us down, which they already are here, we're going to have to be over there full time. But I love everybody. I thank you for being here. We will be back tomorrow with some awesome news for you. I salute you. Stand up for your freedom. Make sure that you fight for our freedom. Do not lay down. Do not give up. Do not say that we will back down or we will stop because we're going to continue to fight this great fight for this great nation. And I love you. I love everybody. I'll peace out. I'll see you later.